Hey everybody, I'm here today to do a review of this Chef's Choice Hybrid 220 Electric Knife Sharpener. In this video review, I'll be going over the features and functions of this awesome knife sharpener, and I'll also be demonstrating myself using it to sharpen a few of my kitchen knives. Without further ado, let's get right into the video review. First and foremost, I do have to say I like the fact that this is an electric knife sharpener. With many manual knife sharpeners, you end up having to go a few times, back and forth, or just sliding it back, depending on the knife sharpener, to sharpen the knives. And they just generally don't do an absolutely incredible job, but this electric knife sharpener is simple, and it does do an incredible job. I do have to say it is a little bit heavy, but that's simply because of the fact that there's a motor inside of here. As you can see, there's an on and off switch. It powers a motor, which, turns the actual sharpening units inside of here. There are 2 degrees of sharpening. You're going to use number 1 first and then move to number 2. Number 1 is, to sharpen either side of a really dull knife, and then number 2 is to really get it nice and fine with regards to its sharpness. It's really easy to use. It is portable enough that you can easily just leave it on your counter if you will be using it sort of frequently, but also it's small enough that, you could just wrap the cord up, put a little twist tie around it, and just store this in a drawer or in one of your kitchen cupboards. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to be plugging it in just like this. We'll plug it in over here. I'm going to turn it around so that it's facing me, because that's what you want to do when you are using it to sharpen your knives. And when you turn it on, you'll hear it's very, very quiet, and I like that fact, but you'll hear it start to move. So if you can hear right there, it's actually spinning inside of there. And I like the fact, I just turned it off, I like the fact that it spins at a slow pace. It's not like scary where it's like, it's like spinning at a nice slow pace, which is a huge plus in my opinion. And also when you turn it on, there's actually a fan down here. You can actually feel the fan down here. I don't know if it's a fan, but there's definitely ventilation down there. You can feel the air coming out through here, which is great because it's going to allow the knives to get sharpened really nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just, sharpen 2 different knives really quickly. We have, these are the same knives. Let's get a different one. We have this, which actually in the set that I have, I believe it comes with 6 of these knives. And then there's one of this type of knife right here. You can see they're different sizes. One is much smaller and doesn't cut as deep, okay? And it just has a little bit of a different angle to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the knife sharpener towards me. I'm going to turn it on, okay? Now I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. Nice and slowly, I'm going to take the knife, I'm going to bring it towards me. You want to avoid pushing it, because when you push it, it gives it sort of that, it might create sort of a jagged motion, and you don't want that. You want it to be smooth. So on number 1, which has 2 slots, I'm going to do 1 slot and then the other. Just nice and slowly, we're going to start it off. And then on the other side. Okay? And then what we're going to do right here is on number 2, we're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to bring it nice and sharp. It's going to fine tune it really nicely. So just like that. Just really going to get all of the shards off and so forth. And if you take a look at this, hopefully you can see this on the camera, but it's actually super shiny down there at the bottom, which is a huge plus in my opinion. What I like to do once I've finished using it is I just take the knife and I calmly wipe it along paper towel, and that really just gives it, the nice fine tuning that you need. And then I always wash the knives after I sharpen them. I'm going to do this one here next. You can hear the turning of the motor number 1, and number 2 doesn't really do that. Okay, number 2, you're just sort of fine tuning it. Okay, and if you're sharpening your knives regularly, then you can pretty much just put it through number 2 constantly. I mean, that's what I would recommend. I don't know if that's the official way to do it, but if I was sharpening my knives like every week, I would just, run it through number 2 once or twice or 3 times just to really fine tune it, because it won't really get to the point where it's going to be dull. What I'm going to do now, we're going to go ahead and do number 1 again. Okay, other side now. Okay, and then number 2, slide it through nicely. Just like that. Oh, look at that. Nice and shiny. Hopefully you can see right at the bottom. It is, woo! It is nice and shiny, nice and sharp. Let's just give it a wipe. I always just give them a quick wipe really quickly to just make sure that they're nice and clean, and then I wash them. But that's basically it. Overall, it's a great little compact electric knife sharpener. I'm just going to unplug it for safety's sake now that I'm handling it again. It's easy to use, as you saw. It sharpens your knives nicely, and that's basically it. It's compact enough that you can store it on your counter, store it in the cabinet, put it back in the box, put it away in the cupboard, in a closet, in a storage shelf, whatever you want to do with it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video review of the Chef's Choice Hybrid 220 Electric Knife Sharpener. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.